and gentlemen, we are recognizing today some persons who have contributed quite significantly to sustainability measures, sustainability factors when it comes to food production and food security in St. Lucia. All right? And over the last 2 years, these persons would have participated in different types of projects, and we're going to go through some of them so you get to understand and appreciate how much we have moved the needle, right, through some very simple, targeted, and practical innovations. All right? And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. So we're going to recognize some of those participants, and then, of course, we're all going to get an opportunity to understand and appreciate how this project went. Yeah? Get some of the feedback, some of the experiences, lessons learned, and all of that.
I am very much elated that I could be present here with you today. Reason being is that this partnership and this initiative, this program, has been one in the making, and there's been a lot that has gone into it in terms of planning. And I'm not talking about today, I'm talking about what we've achieved so far. Planning, communicating, speaking and discussing, being very flexible on the part of SLUNCF, but also the partner Republic Bank, you see. And I must say that I cannot express our continued thanks and appreciation to the bank for partnering with us and taking that leap and that step. Because what this signified to the bank and to us and to others is quite inspiring, where the private institution, as part of its corporate social responsibility program, can take the risk and partner with a National Conservation Trust Fund. So I would like again to recognize that, and let us give it a round of applause for that. I also want to recognize that because we took that chance together and we decided to take this journey, we are here today because we are celebrating tangible actions, not just things on paper, tangible actions and a promise that it can deliver beyond the cycle of a project or a grant. That's important. Why is it important? Because it signifies the possibilities that we can continue to support. It signifies as well how this can be inspiring to persons. I see the students are here, and it is not to say that it is just part of their curriculum. I am happy that they were able to participate and that they are learning something from it. In today's world, we have to be very creative. We have to be thinking outside of the box. And according to our Prime Minister, nobody's coming to save us, we have to save ourselves. This is a very important thing for you to understand. It is not to say that others are not looking out for us. But the first person to look out for is you have to look out for yourself. You have to see what is around you, what is possible. The people around you, the natural resources around you, and invest some time in thinking about how can I make myself better, especially at home. Stop looking overseas. See what's happening out there tells you that if we keep looking externally beyond our shores, things happen and it just cuts it off right away. We have to take some time and invest in our own treasures, our talents, our resources, our people, There's a lot that's been made available to us, and we have to take advantage of it. So I want to say and reiterate that this partnership, or these partnerships, have been very fruitful. They've been very inspiring, because I have other conservation colleagues from the Bahamas, Grenada, St. Vincent. They're asking, how can we get a Republic Bank to join with us? Because of the type of investment and the type of relationship. And I know that we are a long way off from the 5-year framework, but I'm hoping, that we're already working on an extension to that. So, importantly, I want our grantees to keep on working, even if we have the funding contract has ended, we will still be knocking on your door to see how things going. Because we don't want it to become like other things that happen where, we give the funds and then we turn our backs and the grant has come to an end, and then that's the end of the story. We will be following you, like they say on Instagram, you follow me and so on and so forth. We will be following you to see what is going on, what has happened 5 years after. Okay? That's important. And we want also the media to follow that journey. I was just telling to one of the media colleagues that there are too many sad stories in St. Lucia. We need to highlight the positives, man. We have to highlight what is going on is good and bring it out so we can inspire people. We can have people have hope. And you can even get other partnerships, other people involved in that success. So with that, thank you for being here. It has been an amazing journey, and I congratulate you personally. And of course, on behalf of our chair, Caroline Trubetskoy, she could not be here, but she would have loved to be here. Trust me when I tell you that. And the rest of the board of the SLUNCF and all our grouping, our entire team. So thank you and all the best. Please enjoy the rest of the day as we go through the proceedings. Thank you.
So growing up in St. Lucia, it doesn't take long to feel something that is woven in our very identity. This island is not just ours to enjoy, but it's ours to protect. From the first breath of the sea air to the sight of our lush hills, you inherit a quiet but powerful duty. And that duty is to safeguard our beauty, to nurture its sustainability, and to preserve the living richness of our environment. The pitons, the reefs, the farms, the people who wake up early to work on those farms, they all make a quiet demand of us. And that is this: to leave this place better than we found it. Now, if you glance at the wider world, it doesn't take much more than a headline for you to see the story unfolding. Conflicts stretching across continents, supply chains bending pressure, fuel prices climbing, pulling costs of living right behind them. We know what's happening right now. We've heard persons complaining about prices with utilities. And the truth is, some of these things are beyond us. For small island developing states like ours and the rest of the Caribbean, these are real issues. These are things that hit our shores. In grocery bills, in transportation costs, and in uncertainty when families are planning. So, we do not control these global issues. But what can we do? We can control how we respond. We control how we treat our soil. We control how we treat our children. We control how we treat our own families and our communities. And whether we choose to be passive observers or active protectors of our sustainable development. And very often we use the word sustainability. It's a nice fancy term that we like to throw around. But what does it really mean? It is our very survival. That's what sustainability is. What's happening in the global sphere, what's happening around us, we must be innovative. Craig said it himself, and I'll say it again. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to look after our own survival. So, at that exact point, we have to make a decision. And that is exactly why the partnership between Republic Bank and the SLUNCF is extremely important to us. We're not just here to talk theory today. So persons who are here, who understand every single thing that the partners would have been doing, will give you some of the information as to how exactly we moved along the projects. But we have to look at the big picture. This is not just an idea of sustainability. The cycles were very productive. Cycle 1 and 2 have been good, and we know that it works. We've seen young people, older persons, learning agriculture, reimagining it. We've seen classrooms extended beyond walls in aquaponics, systems, and training labs. We've seen farmers experimenting with climate-smart techniques that make them more resilient, not less resilient. We've seen innovation, quiet and practically take root. And it's not just activity, it's impact. Over 100 individuals directly impacted, half of which are women. That's diversity, that's sustainability, and that's, what's the key word? Survival.
We have the project overview, a hydroponic grow bag system addressing climate change and food security. Okay, the focus is on sustainability and efficient agriculture. So we know the issues that we have when we plant in the soil, so I wanted to overcome that. So I got the grow bags. Part of the project too was rainwater harvesting. We know the issues with rainwater, well, not rainwater, but with rain, and especially during the dry season. WASCO will put the notice out, we cannot use it to irrigate, so I attempted to do some rainwater harvesting. When Dean came to visit, Dean said to me, we have to think of covering because the medium I'm using to plant, I have perlite and I have gravel. So with water coming, nutrients will be leached. I will lose my nutrients. So Dean said we have to cover. Then again, love for agriculture, I got a loan for a greenhouse. So it's a 30 by 120 feet long greenhouse, and it's climate smart. So I have a micro irrigation system, so to cool out the plants when it's hot. I have ground cover, so there's no need for weeding, no need to apply any herbicides. Okay, and I have, for my irrigation now, it will be precise irrigation where each plant will get its nutrients through the water. So there's no need to go to physically fertilize each plant. Okay, so the key features of the system, soilless growing system, and once you have hydroponics, should be no soil. Once you have soil, it's not hydroponics. So the various medium you can use. I opted for gravel, it's readily available here. Automated fertigation, so when I need to fertilize, as I irrigate, fertilizer, nutrients goes in there as well. Climate control, I spoke of it. My mist irrigation, there's a reflective cover to come to reflect sunlight to reduce temperature. To the roof, there will be a gutter connect system so I can collect rainwater, put it in a tank and use for irrigation.
Our next grantee, the Babono Secondary School. And this one, I just want to shout out some of the students who are here with us. I'm going to call you by name. Yeah? Canis, Jada, King, Ainsley, Kanya, Konika, I hope I get that right, and Ayani. Give them a round of applause, please. Mrs. Adams has been very instrumental in implementing this project at the Babono Secondary School. She will tell you a lot about that experience and give you some more insights as to what they have achieved. Welcome her, please.
As I speak, I would like you to take a journey with me through a project that has changed the lives of my students, and it has opened the eyes even of the teachers that are not directly involved in the project. So I'm pleased to share the journey of a project that has not only transformed the physical space within our school. So initially we had an aquaponic system, but of course with the expansion of it, it has increased the capacity. With skills, attitudes of our students, our aquaponics expansion project. This initiative began with a clear vision to expand an existing system into a dynamic, hands-on learning environment under the theme, empowering youth for sustainable agriculture. If you want change to happen, it must start with the youth. While also operating as a business venture, money has been involved, so therefore you need to see returns on your investment. The vision became a reality through the generous contribution of the St. Lucia National Conservation Fund and the Republic Bank. Their investment was not simply in infrastructure, and this part is really important. So it's not only establishing the system, but there was also a focus in youth development, sustainability, education, and entrepreneurship.
Today's theme, as was shared with me, celebrating partnerships in building a greener, more resilient future for St. Lucia, is actually in many ways the story of our project at NSDC. So on behalf of NSDC, thank you for this opportunity to share it. Just to share a little about the project, slide 2. Our intervention sits within a wider project. So when we approach NCF and Republic Bank, we had already started and commenced a project called the Skills to Access the Green Economy, otherwise known as SAGE. And that was a 5-year project funded by the Government of Canada. And the NSDC had partnership with Dalhousie University School of Agriculture and Algonquin College. And they assisted us tremendously with a lot of capacity building and training. And We work together also with the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College here in St. Lucia as our two institutions work together to develop climate smart programs for St. Lucia. And so here in St. Lucia, we deliver the agro-food processing program. And so I want to present this to you today, and you see here on the screen, of course, the grant we received was in total 45,000 EC dollars. In St. Lucia, we delivered the agro-food processing program, and you see here it was disbursed to us in various tranches. We used the first disbursement because training was already underway, where we bought a lot of supplies and material for practical programs, because we believe heavily in demonstration of skill in our programs because they are all competency-based.
The primary objective of this project was to establish a sustainable 10-hive apiary on private lands in Deramo-Moshi. This initiative aimed to support local honey production and value-added products, promote environmental sustainability through pollination, and build community capacity by training individuals in beekeeping practices. Of course, it also served to strengthen the foundation for Tea Garden's 758 expansion into honey-based products. Despite challenges, the project realized several meaningful outcomes. We successfully cleared and prepared the site for apiary operations. We installed the 10 beehives, establishing the initial apiary structure. We upgraded and secured the apiary shelter, improving resilience and safety. We were also able to implement a rainwater harvesting system to support sustainability. And this is one of the, I'm going to get to the point that we are really proud of, because I see some of the students there. We sponsored training for 13 young individuals. 2 were from the community, 2 young men from the community, and 11 from the Babano Secondary School. Our current status and how we move forward. Currently, 3 of our hives remain very active and healthy, and actually over the past 2 weekends, we're able to expand on them, forming the foundation for rebuilding. Plans are underway to expand and strengthen the apiary using the lessons learned. We continue focusing on learning, training, sustainability, and product development. And of course, our commitment to ensuring that Tea Garden becomes resilient, environmentally responsible, and of course, an agro-enterprise that will not change.
As we close today's program, I find myself reflecting on the vision that was shared earlier. We heard Mr. Henry's call for a more sustainable St. Lucia, and we also heard Mr. Leon's emphasis on the strength of community and partnership. But beyond the vision and beyond the strategy, today, for me, is all about the journey. And as my role, the field officer at SLUNCF, I've had the privilege of not only seeing these projects just on paper, but also on the ground. I've stood in spaces where ideas were just beginning, and I've returned to those same spaces to see transformation taking place. I've seen innovation take root in agriculture. I've seen students light up when they realize that they can be part of something bigger. I've seen individuals step into opportunities they never imagined for themselves. And what becomes clear very quickly is that this initiative is not just about projects. It is 100% about people. Because behind every hydroponic system, every training session, every apiary, there is a person who has been impacted. And we've said that word a lot throughout today, impact. Sometimes we talk a lot about numbers, and in my role, I have to deal a lot with the numbers, and numbers are important. But the truth is, even one life change has the power to shift everything. When one person gains a skill, that is a livelihood. When one young person finds direction, that is a future reshaped. When one individual is empowered, that influence extends. It extends to family, to communities, and ultimately to our nation's development. So imagine not just one life change, imagine the many impacted by these projects. That is where real impact lies. That is where we begin to see the ripple effect, the domino effect, and where individual transformation leads to collective progress. To our grantees, today truly belongs to you. You are the heartbeat of this initiative. Your work has taken opportunity and turned it into real, tangible impact, and you should be incredibly proud of what you have achieved. Give yourselves a round of applause. As we look ahead, we also recognize that this first call has been a learning journey for us all. We have seen what works, we have seen where innovation thrives, and we have gained a deeper understanding of how best to support the needs and ambitions of our communities. And because of that, we move forward, we do so stronger, more informed, and even more committed to creating opportunities that are accessible, impactful, and transformative. So to those considering applying for the next call, I want to encourage you to take that step. If there is an idea within your community, if there is a challenge you believe you can address, if there is a vision you have been holding on to, this is your opportunity to bring it to life. I want to take this moment to extend sincere thanks to the media partners here today. You play a critical role in telling those stories and ensuring that the impact reaches beyond just this room. To the Republic Bank for their continued commitment to sustainable development and for believing in the potential of our people, and to the SLUNCF team whose dedication behind the scenes has made today and the entire initiative possible. As we leave here today, I hope we do so not just with a sense of completion, but with a sense of possibility. Because what we have seen here today is proof that when partnerships are strong, when communities are empowered, and when opportunities are created, real change happens. This is not just a program, it is a movement where individual lives are transformed, communities are strengthened, and St. Lucia continues to build a future that is not only sustainable, but truly one of its own. Thank you all, and let us all continue on this journey together. Thank you.